Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany. Thank you for joining me today. In this video, we're going to be going over when you have an issue, how to create a branch for that issue that you have, and then doing the work on the branch, committing that code up to Git, and then we're going to be on GitHub and we're going to create a pull request, and then from there we're going to merge that pull request. And I'm gonna show you how I deploy it to my website. I'm also gonna tell you the better way to do it, which is not the way that I'm doing it, but just stick around, you'll see it all. It's gonna be great. Stay tuned to the end, like this video, share it with anybody who you think might be interested in it, and I'll see you all at the end of the video. What we're gonna do is here, we're gonna go to, I created an issue and it has the updates that I want to do for my website on here. So first thing, and I mean, I guess they're in no particular order, but we're going to update my About Me section, and then we're going to update the tab because right now it says web developer. We're going to just change it to software engineer. And then I'm going to add a new picture. This is what it looks like now. So here's my current website. We just have About, YouTube, blog section, contact. So this is what it looks like very briefly. It's not much. My website's really not much at all. I just mainly need it as a source of information. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new branch. And as you can see, I did a Git branch and it says, okay, you're on master and there's only one. Okay, great. So I'm going to make a new branch. I'm going to call this branch minor updates, and that should work. And it switched to that branch as well. So let's just do another Git branch. Git branch is going to allow you to see all the branches that you have. And right now I'm on the minor updates branch. It's starred and it's also in green, which means that's the current one that I'm on. And we can get started with some of these changes. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about the changes because I really just want you to see that there were changes that existed. So I'm going to go make my changes. So we now have our changes that we made, and as you saw, we're on our minor branch updates, or our branch that says minor updates. What we're going to do is we're going to do a Git status. This is going to show us all the changes that we've made. So here we have modified a file and the CSS file, and then we've also modified the index file. So in order to get these changes ready to be committed, we're gonna have to add these files. Now, typically, I've seen this git add dot. If you do that, it's gonna add everything. Usually in a production level environment, you don't wanna add, you don't wanna use that because there's gonna be other files and things like that. So you don't wanna default to that, and you don't wanna let that be the first thing that you add. Like, that's not really good practice. So for me, what I like to do is I like to do each individual file that I've changed. And the reason why I do that is it's a lot more cleaner. And if you end up messing something up, but let's say somehow somebody else's branch got into your branch and then now you're committing their code, you never know what could go wrong. So to be on the safe side, add the files that you personally have changed. So in this case, I've added CSS main and index. Now, after you do that, you hit enter, you see nothing has happened, but if you run another git status, those files are now in green, which means they're ready to be committed, and it also tells you that the changes are ready to be committed. Committed is just basically now we're going to add a message to those files, and we're basically, when you commit code up, that's the message that's going to show up as you're searching across your repository. Again, we're talking about production level environment. So what you don't want to do is say, oh yeah, updates. You don't want to say git commit -M is message. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to say updates. Usually it's not very good practice, mainly because everyone's making updates. So it tells me about nothing that you've done. So what you want to do is say something like this: git commit -M updated image about me section and page title. That tells me what you actually completed. When they're pushed, you just do this, git push. Once you get push, as you might have seen on the screen, there's like a little flag that came here and it said, hey, this new branch was pushed to, a minute ago. So what we can do is we can compare and then do a pull request. So the first thing it's gonna give you is the commit message. Like, it's gonna tell you, like, this is the commit that you did. So if you're cool with this message, you can leave this message here, or you can change it to something that is better. Like if it's specifically for a project or something that you were working on, then you might change it to that as well. I'm going to just gonna say minor 2020 website changes, and then I'm going to just paste the commit in the body here. You don't have to do that, it's just what I'm doing. After you do that, you are going to want to click create pull request. That's it. You've created a pull request. Now, typically in a production level environment, you're going to want to go however you request someone to review your changes. That's how you're going to want to do that. But if you're using GitHub to do that, you can go here in the reviewer section, and I don't have anybody else here, but if you come here, click the gearbox, you can choose a name. If there's somebody on your team named John who's supposed to review these, then you type in John, and then it'll tag John to review it. If you have to have multiple people update it, you can do that as well. As you can see, it says that you can have up to 15 reviewers on this PR. For me, it's my changes, so I'm just gonna go over here to file change, and I'm gonna double check real quick that it's actually doing what I need it to do before I merge them in. So I'm just gonna quickly review this. I made a couple of CSS changes, and then I made some HTML changes as well, and just making sure that everything is spelled correctly. If you've never seen this before, very quickly, the red is what used to be there and the green is what is now there. So if it's in red and it's bolded, then that means it has been removed. And if it's green and it's kind of like a boldish color that sticks out like this, highlighted kind of color green, then that means that's been added to your code base. So you just want to make sure that those are right. If spacing is important to your team, then you definitely want to make sure things are spaced correctly. Tabs versus spaces, I don't know what you're using, but just make sure it's right. And then after someone has reviewed your code, you or whoever that person is that reviews your code is going to merge that pull request. So go ahead and merge pull request. And with this, I'm just going to confirm the merge. Yes, this is the merge, the minor 2020 update, website changes. That's what this is named, and this is exactly what I want to merge. So I'm going to confirm that, and then it's merged. So if you look, it has the purple icon right here for you now, and it tells you that it's been merged. I changed the CSS and index files. So one thing I do want to do is, right now, for me, these changes are locally, but as you can see, if I refresh my page, they're still not on my website, which is not what I wanted. I want them on my website. So I'm gonna log into where I host my website at, which I plan on changing my host in a few months after my my term expires, but I'm gonna go ahead and log in here. All right, after I log in, I'm gonna head over to my domains. This is gonna look different for you. In a production level environment at a company, you more than most likely are going to go to where you deploy your projects at. And that's going to look entirely different. It might be a button that you click on. It could be, it might be you going to GitHub and pushing it, or it might be you going in your terminal and going to where you deploy things. It could look different no matter where you work at. So, but for me, I go ahead and web FTP in, and I do that because DreamHost can be kind of a buzzkill to work with at times. I don't have SSH set up on here, and so just to quickly do this, I just go to WebFTP, and this is not the best way to do it. This is a disclaimer. Like, I don't badmouth me. I know it's not the greatest thing, but this is what I'm doing right now. So for me, I'm gonna go to my actual files that I've changed. And there's this one that I've changed, and I'm just going to upload and replace that file, and it's going to make those changes for me. It's going to transfer it over to the server. Now the time also changes as well, so that's a good indicator to see if you've actually changed anything. And then I also changed my CSS file, which is in here. So I'm just going to drag and drop that here, and then again upload and replace. Again, this is not the best practice. Don't sue me. Gosh. This is just quickly trying to deploy something. This is how you can do it if you're using DreamHost. As you can see right now, the changes I made are like to the page title. You know, instead of web developer, it should say software engineer. I removed my last name from that. And then I also changed some stuff in the about me section, and then I changed my image as well. So let's do a refresh. Here's my picture here. So we did it. We succeeded. We have, my tab has changed, and I have an updated little thing here, and then I have a new image. So we did it. We updated the website. Usually a few things that's going to be different is if you're doing this in a production level environment, then you'll want to stage it somewhere. So you'll have a staging area, and then after you have whomever test that, then you'll push this to production. So that would be the normal thing to do. But again, with this example, it's literally just, this is my website. So this is what I'm using for my personal projects. Generally, when you do like your own website stuff, you want it to be a good flow, but I do understand that like with your own stuff, you may not be as tedious as you are if it was just with production level stuff. It's a whole different ball game. Production level at a company that's not yours, or a company that is yours, and this is what you're trying to do. So that's it. That's the story. That's how you do it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I really hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, throw them down below. And thank you all for watching yet again another video. Thank you so much for your support. Share if it was helpful, and thank you so much. Please stay safe and take care. Bye.